talk show where we cover topics about healing from addiction to getting rid of your zits. If feeling passionate about something we're talking about, give us a call on our call-in number, 989-402-5414, so you can talk with our coach, Deb, who's been coaching for 6 years. Without further ado, here's our host, Deb.
Hello and happy Monday to you. You know why I'm happy today? Because the sun is out. Woohoo! Here in Michigan, we haven't seen the sun very often. So just a couple hints. Make sure that you go out and soak up some vitamin D today. If not, I hope you're taking supplements and standing under heat lamps so that you can combat that cold weather depression that where you don't see the sun. I don't like it. But you know what? Our guest today does not suffer from that. There's no chance that he's ever going to have seasonal depression because he lives in San Diego, California. Welcome to the show, Philippe.
Hi, Deborah. Actually, we have gray sky right now, but
oh no!
Yeah, most of the day we share some of that blue sky with you today.
That's so funny. Thank you. I appreciate it. And can you send us some more tomorrow, please?
I'll do my best.
Thank you very much. So welcome to Diva Dialogue. And you have a very interesting career. Why don't you tell us about yourself, what you do, and why you do it?
Yeah. My name is Philippe. I'm a massage therapist, and I turn online posture guide to help people go from pain to movement. Basically, in the past 3-4 years, I've been helping more people suffering from chronic pain, and I've extended my reach to the online world to help people who sit a lot, for example, or who have a lot of lower back pain, neck pain, wrist pain. And I've posted a lot of my videos on YouTube, on Instagram, to get them to move. The goal behind that really is to create a movement for awareness and health in the Western world, where we suffer from some specific type of chronic pain, and to get people a little bit more mindful about how to get better.
And how did you start doing this? What made you get interested in helping people with pain?
Yeah, it was actually the other way around. In the first place, I worked to help me get out of pain. Ever since I was a teenager, a kid, I got into a series of injuries. And you know how we say to kids, like, brush it off and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of like the mindset in which I was halfway raised. And the other half was my MD when I was a kid was also an acupuncturist and a homeopath therapist. So I've been in contact with pain and kind of like don't think about it, but also the only approach I grew up with was a very holistic one. So if I fast forward 10, 15 years, when I moved to the U.S., I drove a lot more and I started to have a lot of low back pain. And I started to look into what could help me. And I met with several people like doctors, chiropractors, Chinese acupuncturists, and I got back on track with helping myself with massage. And then I learned it to get more knowledgeable about it and figured out a completely different world that blew my mind. And that's how I got started. And after everything that works for me, I try to share it with my clients to get them better. So it worked backward. It was backward.
And, you know, I love when it works like that because the universe guided you and you're more empathetic to people when you've experienced that already. Isn't that true?
It's so true. Like usually when people come and they tell me they have pain, I know exactly what they mean. I maybe don't have the same pain, maybe not the same intensity, but I've been there. And I know it's so frustrating when you want to express something to someone and they don't get it. And they will take you like a book, right? And you can leave the book or you can just, it's just a book.
Right.
And so when people come to see me, I'm really trying to connect and build a rapport with them, making sure they understand that I got their back, I've been there, and I know how it feels.
Excellent. You want to hear something rather ironic?
Yes.
This morning I was brushing my dog and I hurt my back.
No.
Yes. And I thought, oh, what a day. How
We should,
appropriate.
we should work on that. And you're sitting on the chair right now, right?
Nope, I'm standing. I always stand
Oh,
when
you're
I'm
standing.
on
Okay.
here. And it's my
And
lower
how's your back feeling
back.
now? It's your lower back. Okay. So as we do the interview, switch from side to side, front to back, a little bit of movement, very gentle rocking.
Okay.
Try to move your hip around. See if you can do the interview like that.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's, and I never take any kind of Tylenol or aspirin or anything as a last ditch effort. And I even took some this morning. I couldn't even get in the car, but it's not so bad now
No.
because I've been moving around. It took me 15 minutes to get my clothes on and I didn't put socks on. I just stuck boots on. But so I just thought that was so funny.
Nice. But in the meantime, you did the right thing. I want to acknowledge what you've done. When you took the time, you took the 15 minutes, that was good. When you didn't decide to force the socks on and decided to put the boots, that was, those little things, they sound like nothing, but they're very important because they allow you to be a bit more in control. So that was actually very smart what you did.
Oh, good. Well, it hurt too much.
Yes.
So I hurt my back years ago, and I never had any back problems or anything. And a few years ago, I think this is the second summer past, that I put a row of spinach in the garden and there were weeds coming up in between it. So the whole row of the garden, I stayed bent down, taking those little weeds out. And the next morning I woke up with sciatica. So it comes.
And that was how long ago?
I think this is the second. Last year I didn't have it. So I think this is the third year now. So 3 years ago. Yes.
So, see, between you and me and the people listening, just between us,
okay.
I will tell you that. First, acknowledge how long it took. So it's been 3 years, right?
Right.
So you need to change that. Something needs to happen to get you better.
Right.
Second, a lot of my people ask me, and I did that myself, and sometimes I do it to clients, but I know I've noticed it helps to rephrase a little bit. So you said I sat and I felt a sciatica. I would say rather than using words to locate in your head where it is and what it might be as a kind of like a diagnosis, self-diagnosis, I don't condemn diagnosis. I'm just offering another way to look at it for a second.
Okay.
Just think about where you feel it and put your hand on it. And kind of almost like a massage, but gently put your hand on it and feel like, okay, this is where my body is talking to me. And as you do the interview, like right now, actually, you're having
I'm
exactly
doing it.
What I'm doing with people. Like you're rocking back and forth, so you have that movement that you could do on and off.
And my
hands
on it.
Exactly. So, and people who are listening could exactly do the same thing. Like if they're sitting, if you guys are sitting or if you guys are standing, you can move around. Movement, motion is lotion. This is like a great, powerful idea you want to keep in mind. Second is don't be too much in your head when you feel the pain. Be more in your body. And third one is start to connect with yourself and listen to what it has to say.
It actually is feeling a little bit better. The first thing I did was put some essential oils on it to relax those muscles because I was afraid it was going to start spasming. And I kind of know what to do. But the reason I admire your work so much is because here in Western medicine wants to cut. That's their answer for everything. And I absolutely refused to go that path. And they told me that it would not get better, but I kept looking online until I found exercises. And with the help of a chiropractor and those exercises, it did get better. So, and it only goes out once in a while.
See, what you describe here is something that is evolving. In the Western world, there's a lot of evolution. The doctors are doing a great job, and they're leveling up their knowledge to the holistic world. And I think there's a big transformation that is about to happen, and that is happening. And within the next 10, 20 years, it'll be a completely different medical field. There's some pointers that I will offer you. When someone tells you it might not get better, it will get worse, the phrasing is important. There's a concept, and some people are knowledgeable about it, some are not. Heard or not, the placebo effect. The placebo effect is if you take a placebo, you might actually feel better. And that's kind of like a win.
It is.
And a half ago, you just give them water and sugar and say, like, you're going to repeat. I feel better and better every day, and 20 times at night. And it worked. So the placebo effect is not something bad, but there's something also on the other side of that coin called a nocebo effect. And if you look online, there's Wikipedia on that. There's a bunch of blogs on that. I've written one on that too. The nocebo effect is the opposite. If you think something is bad for you, it might become bad even if it's not. So a thought can be very much like those earworm, like the music worm, right? You hear something in your head and it's nagging you. Something is great if you love the song. Sometimes it's not great if you don't like it.
Right.
So when someone tells you you're not going to feel better, there's different mechanisms that your mind work into. One of them is to repeat and to create that reality. Oh, shoot, I'm not going to feel better. Now what? I jump off the bridge? No. You need to take that idea and break it down. So it works with some people because they have this, oh, he told me that, so I'm going to go against it. I'm going to do everything I can. So it's kind of like the reverse psychology idea, which works great.
It works for me. I'll show them.
Right? Maybe, actually, that was a great idea. They told you that. Maybe that was the idea you need to support behind that.
You're
they
right.
supported something that helped me move, right?
Yes.
For some other people, it might not work because they might have lost that concept. They might not use reverse psychology naturally. Our brain is like a immune system, a psychological immune system that takes an idea, takes a trauma, and makes sense of it and work it. But sometimes we don't have a strong immune system, so I'm giving you tools right now to build that psychological immune system as well.
Good.
So think about it like that.
Okay, I like that a lot. So, what an interesting childhood you must have had growing up in an environment of holisticness.
Isn't it funny when we're a kid, we think everybody has the same thing, right?
Yes.
And I actually lived in a town that was created in 600. The castle, because there was a medieval castle in my hometown in France that was from 900 to 900th century, so 1,000-year-old. And that was my backyard. I was playing there like you would go to the park.
Oh, how fun.
And after my doctor was also, it was brought up with the Eastern tradition. And even if he was an MBA, he brought up all of that knowledge, but I never thought about it twice. It was just part of the childhood. Like, I don't know, some people will have like donuts for breakfast every day, and some people will have a glass of lemon water.
Right.
But when you grow up, you start to make choices and you change it. So what helped me though is because of that upbringing, I didn't mind trying acupuncture. Some people don't like it, and I don't mind. And I didn't mind trying something different and subtle. You mentioned something about slicing, like the Western go into slicing mode, surgery, we need to fuse and stuff like that. I am not against surgery.
Right.
I used to be a bit more green, I would say, and I still am. I'm learning and doing my best to get all information I can on science-based information on health, and it's a growing field. It's changing, like I said. And I know some of my clients had great success with, let's say, shoulder trauma. We worked on it, but something